Welcome back to Born Warrior Tactical Firearms. Today we're going to talk about iron sights and bullet trajectory. Since we are using the AR-15, I'm going to go ahead and jump in and talk about this free floating handguard, which I highlighted with the laser. One thing about this, as far as zero going, you want to ensure that these lock nuts are tightened in the forward rail is actually seated. And when I mean seated, that you don't have an open gap. And I'd also recommend using Loctite and security so in the near future they won't vibrate if you hadn't did so. The forward arm grip, you want to ensure that you push it forward enough that you're not causing the hand grip to move forward again. So the natural bend of your non-fire hand should assist when you placing that forward hand grip on there. So moving down as far as the zeroing go, we're going to go ahead and look at what platform to use. I recommend using the bench rest, and the reason for that, it actually stabilizes that weapon. Probably the best thing out there is a bench rest. You can get those anywhere for little or nothing. If not, you have the sandbags, and the third option will be the prone position. Now, if you're shooting in the prone position, I highly recommend that you have your sling because your non-firearm, that's going to actually stabilize that. So we're going to go ahead and continue moving forward to the rear sight aperture. Main thing on this is to ensure that you have it indexed out. That means zeroed out. And your peep sight, you have to use the small one. And the reason why I'm going to tell you to use the small one is that from 0 to 300 meters, that's all you need. And most peep sight actually have a bevel to it that actually keeps the sunlight off the target and from out of your eye. So that's another reason to use it. Anything else as far as the large peep sight, that's more or less for low vision, and if you using some type of glasses or protective mask. So moving along to the front sight post or the front sight aperture, you want to go ahead and look to see where your arrow is pointing. That arrow is always pointing up. And so I'm going to try my best to explain this to you that you will understand. Up on that stem means that you're taking it downward. And taking this stem downward means that the rounds are going to move up. So just give me a second. What I'm going to do is trans over to the target itself so you can see. So with this target that I'm looking at, if you look at these three dots right here, I have them pointing down like an arrow. So as a reminder to you what you're looking for when you go out there for the first time and zeroing your rifle. So pointing downward means that stem you're going to take downward to bring those upward, because the barrel itself, it's not going to move. Only thing going to move is that front sight post aperture. So going downward, when you put it on that sight to 0, you actually brought the rounds up. So the ones that's finding that the rounds are actually going farther down, you're turning it the wrong way. Don't turn it up. On the front sight post, to move the rounds upward, you go down, as I indicated right here on the front sight post. If the rounds are up, see, I notice I put those rounds pointing upward too, the way I just put them in there. So if you want to get them down here and on the target, you move the stem upward. So that stem is going to give you more room. When you bring it to the target, center mass, it's going to bring your rounds down. And everything else is, how far you need to go down as far as the clicks go. But otherwise, that's how you properly move that front sight aperture. The rear aperture is easy breezy. Left is left, right is right. So I put the word down here as a memory as the word forwards, which means front opposite. Front sight opposite, rear sight same. That will actually help you with your zero on your weapon. And so moving into the trajectory itself, I want you to take a good look at this. What happened is that a lot of guys want to think that they're shooting, center mass because the sight alignment from the eye to the front and rear aperture is accurate. However, what a lot of people don't know is that that bullet, once it leaves that barrel, it starts to climb at the 50 meters. And from the 100 to the 250, that bullet may have climbed right about 6 inches higher. So if you're aiming, your aim should be on the target as a point of reference. You want to go ahead and aim right in the belly button region on the target. So anything from 100 to 250, aim at the belly button area on the target. Your aim for your 50 meter and your 300 meter is still going to stay the same on the target, right in that chest area. Also on here, you'll see that I have a 10 meter in the orange. That's going to be a special target that we use tomorrow as far as the range day. So it's going to be a part 2 to this. So if you like what you're seeing, subscribe, like, and share, and I'll see you at the range.